Hey, yo, in this video, I'm gonna do a little bit of time traveling, vicariously living through you guys, and give you the top 5 things I wish I knew by 25. Hey, yo, what's going on? My name is Ruslan, hip-hop artist, creative entrepreneur with King's Dream Entertainment, kingsdreament.com, and I am excited to continue in this Vlogmas series with you guys. It's been an amazing 2018, and as I've been reflecting and thinking about the things I've been learning, the things about I've been growing in, like self-awareness and my morning routine and discipline, I thought it'd be a cool way for me to kind of try and time travel through some of you guys. I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos are between the ages of 18 and 30 because I look at the analytics, and I thought it'd be a cool way for me to share just some little tidbits and wisdom that I wish somebody would have sat me down at 25 years old and just gave me all of this information at once. When I was 25, I was already married. I was doing music, semi full-time. I was already starting to travel, starting to see a little bit of pop with the music, starting to see stuff kind of take off, making a little bit of money off music. I wasn't full-time yet, and I was also making a lot of really dumb decisions that hopefully with this video I can help you avoid. And some of this stuff, listen, I think you could pick up really quick, you could adapt, you could learn it, you could apply it. Other stuff, no matter how much information you're gonna get, you guys, a lot of you guys may just have to learn the hard way and learn through trial and error. But my objective with Mondays, Mistake Mondays, is to get you to not have to learn through trial and error, but to learn from my mistakes. So that's kind of what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about it. But before we get into that, Honey Blonde came out this past Friday. It is doing amazing. It charted as number 15 on the iTunes hip hop charts. Honey Blonde is an album that I produced, executive produced, with my brother John Keith, who's an amazing artist. If you guys aren't familiar with John Keith, make sure you follow him. He just cracked 10K on Instagram. He's doing awesome. Wanted to share some of the merch bundles with you guys. We have the hoodie bundle right now for $44.99, CD, signed CD included, plus free shipping. We're going to be dropping some new merchandise, specifically crew necks and the beanies, beanie season, hoodie season. Of course, this is one of the shirts. Move the microphone out of the way. It says Elohim, me and the team, which is of course a bar from John Keith's song Nothing to Me with T. Ross the Giant. So the top 5 things I wish I knew at 25. Some of this stuff is common sense, basic knowledge. Some of it is a little deep. Let's get into the first one. Your decisions today will impact your tomorrow. I know this is kind of basic and you're like, yo, it's obvious, but listen. They say that in males, the brain doesn't all the way form until you're about 25 years old approximately. That's what science says. They say women develop a little bit faster, and specifically the part of the brain that understands the long-term consequences. So when I say that your decisions today will impact your decisions tomorrow, I mean that you, for the most part, are underestimating the ripple effect that your decisions are going to make. And you're probably overestimating how much you can get done in a week or how much you can get done in a month, and you're underestimating how much you can get done in a year if you do the same thing over and over, or in a decade if you do the same thing over and over. And I'm specifically talking about habits. When I was 25, man, I had horrible nutrition. I was eating corn dogs and just all kinds of stuff that was just not great for me, and that stuff seeped in to my late 20s, my early 30s. My metabolism slowed down and I had to pay the price for it. And as you guys know, I've been on a body transformation this year. I've lost 20 pounds. I've lost, 10% body fat. I'm trying to get to 10% body fat. I'm at 12%. And I've had to pay for the decisions, the nutritional decisions, the relational decisions, the financial decisions that I made in my mid-20s and my early 20s. I had to pay for those things today. And also, the investments that I made, the work that I put in, I also was able to reap the harvest on that side as well. So just know off top, very basic. Your decisions today will impact your tomorrows, so be willing to pay the price. The second one I think is something that many of us know, but we still grow up with a toxic view of money. And especially if you grew up poor like me, you grew up kind of in a poverty mindset. I was raised by a single mother, on welfare, the whole bit. I grew up, and when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I had a very toxic view of money. I had a very negative view of money, of success, of wealth, and building wealth. And I know many of you do, because I could see the way you guys react when I start talking about becoming debt-free. And I just had a negative view of money, which then led me to make irresponsible decisions with money. If I got married at 23, by the way, me and my wife were married. We had about $45,000 in debt. And it was a scary time for us because we weren't making a lot of money. I think I was still in school at 25. I think she had just graduated right before we got married. I was 20. Yeah. So I was still in school 2 years after we got married. I was finishing up, and we had a lot of debt between car notes, between student loans. We had $45,000 in debt. And in the process of us following the Dave Ramsey FPU steps, the baby steps of getting out of debt, in the process, the halfway point, we were killing it. We got hit with a levy on our bank accounts and basically got sued, and a bunch of stuff went into collections, stuff that I had forgot about that I thought it didn't affect me. It was basically a condo and HOAs that I had co-signed with my mom. Terrible financial decision, but that stuff had affected me into my married life that I didn't think would affect me because I thought I wasn't responsible for it, but I was. And in the process of becoming debt-free, our accounts got levied, all the money got taken out, and I had to figure something out. Thankfully, we had just paid rent, and we were freaking nervous. We were freaking out. And so what I learned, which a lot of people don't quite understand the grasp of because we have this toxic view of money, is I learned that money is simply the exchange of value. Meaning that a lot of us are either thinking we want to get rich for the sake of being rich, we want to be wealthy for the sake of being wealthy, or we have a negative view of money and we think, well, that's just something that rich people get, and I'm just kind of doomed to work a crappy job and not have anything and not build wealth and not buy a property and not, own nice things or give to my church or to ministries. We have a very toxic view of money, but money is simply the exchange of value. That's all it is. And so the question isn't how do you make more money? The question is how do you add more value to people? How do you add more value to people? And in the process of getting our accounts levied, I was freaking out. I was making a lot of music at the time. This is 2011, 2012. We had a great run as The Breaks, me and Belief. We were putting out a lot of mixtapes, and I had never done features for people, but people wanted me on songs. And so I remember thinking, man, I'm in the hole. I got to figure this thing out. And I froze up. At one point, I was very scared. I thought we were going to have to file for bankruptcy, or I was going to have to file for bankruptcy because I had so much debt. And I did a feature sale. I've never done a feature sale before. I did a feature sale, my first feature sale, and it blew my mind that as an independent artist, definitely not as many followers as I have today, but I had depth with my audience, that I made like $3,000 in 1 week just doing features for people. And I realized that what it wasn't that I was like some amazing, incredible lyrical rapper that everybody wanted to fit. It was just that I was adding value to people in a different way that I hadn't done before. Therefore, I was able to make more money off of features. And I still do that from time to time. I still do feature sales. I still work with up and coming artists. And now I'm just trying to add even more value where I'll do mixing, throw in free mixing, fatten up the drums, help artists rewrite their parts. If you want to get me on a feature, you could always DM me on Instagram. I'm going to probably be doing a feature sale at the end of the year. But it tapped into something that, one, was an alternative stream of income, but two, it lit something inside of me and showed me that like I can make money. I could actually do something with this music, that it doesn't have to be this little part-time hustle, that if I could figure out how to maneuver and do different things with music, that I could actually make this a full-time income. The next thing is something that you don't really think about until it happens, and that's, man, value your friends. Value your friends, but be flexible. Be flexible in making new friends. And this is what I mean. When I was 25, I had a lot of close friends around me. By close friends, I mean like folks I went to middle school with, folks I went to high school with, folks I had just known for a decade. My two best friends from high school were in my wedding. They were still around. We saw them regularly. A lot of my friends were around. And then something happens between I say the ages of 25 to 30, where your friend group and your community shifts. A lot of folks get married, a lot of folks have kids, and with marriage and responsibility, people start thinking about family, and they start thinking about where is the most stable place for them to live. And out of all my friends that I'd known for a very long time, a lot of them just moved away. We had such a dope and poppin' community locally in San Marcos. We were all going to the same church. We had this men's Bible study on Monday nights. And to be honest, I miss a lot of that, but all my really close friends moved away, probably with the exception of Belief. And Belief is like the only one that's still around. I still see him, and I had to be flexible, and I had to adapt and make new friends and start to slowly build new community with new people. And that's hard, if I'm going to be honest. And those friends that are my day ones that I did go to high school with, or that I know from way back in the day, I value those friendships so much. So, man, value your friends, but be flexible. And speaking of friendships, one of the ways that you can maintain healthy friendships, those of y'all that are entrepreneurs, those of you guys that are creatives, odds are you're probably going to be doing some stuff with your friends in terms of maybe music, being in a rap group, being in a collective of some sort. For me, it was building a label, being in bands, all that kind of stuff. Is when you have a vision of how to do things, sometimes you could just be tenacious and push through. And in the process, man, you could hurt a lot of people, and you indirectly, like not intentionally, but just being tenacious, being super focused, being super driven, and not everybody's level of commitment might match up or add up to yours. And so in your pursuit, that may affect people negatively because maybe they don't want to do music professionally, or maybe they're not as serious as you are, or whatever. In my 20s, I was seeing success, tidbits of success, by just sheer willpower and grind and focus. And one of the things I'm working on now that I'm trying to get better at is understanding that systems and processes are more important than goals and results. Systems and processes are more important than goals and results. Meaning that if you can develop a system to how you're becoming successful, if you can have processes that make sense in terms of how you're releasing content, how you're making videos, how you're making films or music or albums or whatever it is that you're doing, if you could create systems and processes that are recreatable, then that will make the drama around everything much simpler, and will eliminate a lot of that tension that goes into building something with your friends. And especially if you're a male, a lot of us tend to be friends with the people we work with. We work shoulder to shoulder a lot of times, and those become our friends. And so if it's just sheer willpower and it's just sheer hustle and it's just sheer tenacity, which it was for me, that could impact people differently, and that could impact people negatively. But if you can develop systems, if you can develop almost templates and processes, that is going to be more valuable than just the goal and the result. And here's the deal: if you develop proper systems and proper processes, that will be just a direct correlation to your success. Meaning right now, as we're releasing music, we just released Honey Blonde, me and Paul Russell released Via Text, we released Lost Boys, I released Indie Jones 2. I might just go into hibernation and finish Indie Jones 3 very soon here. So if you want to feature, if you are enjoying this YouTube content, and make sure you're liking it, commenting, all that kind of stuff, I might just go into a zone. But it's because we've had a system and a process of how to make albums, from the spark of the album to the mixing and the mastering to Zach Sparazzo's role in terms of helping us create videos to the artwork. There is a system and a template now. And last year, this past 2018, we put out 5 albums. We put out Indie Jones 2, we put out Lost Boys by John Keith, we put out Jet Trouble, Son of 61, we put out Via Text by me and Paul Russell, and then we just put out Honey Blonde. We put out 5 albums. But when I initially got the label off the ground, King's Dream 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, all of those years we only put out 2 records. And it's because we didn't have systems and we didn't have processes. We were focused on putting out music. We were focused on the goals. We got to go travel. We got to get results. We got to get all these different things. But once I shift the mentality and said, man, I have to figure out systems and processes, both financially, so the money is super transparent, and in terms of just the way we go about making albums, not taking it too seriously, but being excellent, thinking of the visuals as we're creating the songs, and what is the single going to be, and what is the album rollout going to be, and building everything in a cohesive way makes the process so much more enjoyable. So focusing on systems, processes over results and goals. And the last one, which you guys hear me talk about a lot, you guys hear me talk about this a lot, and oftentimes, whether it's self-imposed or other people want to put you in a box, People will limit what they think you're capable of. They'll tell you, "Oh no, Ruslan, you're just a rapper, man. Like just rap. Like why? What do you mean you want to start a label? No, don't do that." Or, man, you're really good at running a label. You need to stop rapping and you need to focus on just running the label. What are you doing? Or why do you want to do YouTube? Why do you want to do podcasting, right? And it's this thing that people will put their limiting thoughts on you, people that mean well. And I had to be intentional to move away from other people's expectations for me and really start to embrace talent stacking. Embrace talent stacking, meaning that I started as a rapper who didn't have a studio, so I got my own home studio. My mom helped me get my first computer, my own home studio when I was a teenager, and I got the home studio, I started recording myself, boom. Those are two things I could do. That then evolved into me making some beats and recording myself, and then eventually I learned to mix. And then early on, people would come around, so I was recording other artists, I was practicing, so I was engineering. So engineering, mixing, recording other artists, learning how to put together and put out records, and then that evolved, and then I started signing artists and putting out other artists, and then that evolved into, man, I need to do more videos. We're not getting enough videos done. So I got with my man Sam Wells. He taught me how to shoot videos. He showed me what a DSLR was. He showed me what f-stop and shutter speed and ISO is. And then that evolved into me shooting videos for my artists, shooting a lot of those breaks videos we shot ourselves. I got a T2i camera and a nifty 50 millimeter lens, like $150 setup. We shoot the videos. Sam would help me do the color correction. I'd edit them myself. A lot of those breaks videos we did ourselves. And then Sam would like do the nicer videos when we had a budget to do stuff. We just started pumping out more videos. I was editing those videos, right? I was mixing those records. And so I started as a rapper, and then I started doing all these other things, and that's continuing to evolve for me. I'm continuing to talent stack. I'm continuing to move and be fluid as a person, to try and do different things. YouTube, this is happening because my last job was I was working at my church, and I was doing all the videos, the video announcements, making little trailer videos. I just kind of finessed my way into that position. They needed somebody to do videos, and I did videos, and I got paid for that. That helped me to learn the skills on what it means to YouTube and do videos on YouTube. And I remember 2015, I saw Casey Neistat. Again, my buddy Sam Wells was like, yo, don't overthink the music videos. This is the format that people are checking for. They want to see a sneak peek into people's lives. And so he showed me Casey Neistat in 2015. I made my very first vlog. It was the day I quit my job, June 1st, 2015. I did my very first, my day as a full-time rapper vlog. And that was the very first time I did a lifestyle vlog. And that was dope. And so that evolved into podcasting and shooting and editing more music videos and all those types of things. And so embrace talent stacking. Don't let people limit you. Don't think you're just a one-trick pony. Be okay. I'm not saying you have to be a jack of all trades. You definitely should master a few things, but be willing to do things and evolve. And so right now I'm learning Lightroom. I'm learning LUTs. I'm learning how to color correct. I like that kind of stuff. And so I've always been flexible, and don't be afraid to get out of the box and try something new. So those are the 5 things that I wish I knew by 25. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are some other things you want me to talk about? Any specific type of videos that you want me to touch on? I know I covered a lot, but hopefully this adds value to you. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with somebody that needs it. Y'all know somebody that needs this video. And make sure you're subscribed with your notifications on. All right, peace.